with Mary, she's talking about there are certain aspects that hold us back. One of the things she talks about a lot with me is the process of surrender and what that really means. But in tandem with that is the process of forgiveness. And forgiveness is like, there's a lot of things I've worked on, and I'm like, really? I thought I forgave it. I thought I was done with that. And she's saying, but you're not. And it's not that you're not. Once you make that conscious decision to forgive something, it's done. However, are you making the conscious decision with spirit? Because there's a difference between just saying, okay, today I'm going to forgive this, or to be able to go, you know what? I'm going to surrender to spirit, and I'm going to let you take the wheel and do that forgiveness with me. Because when you're not surrendering, you're in a state of resistance. And in resistance, it means I'm doing it by myself. But when you say, I'm ready to surrender, you're saying, I'm making the decision with God. So you are going to help me. You are going to direct forgiveness. And a lot of times, my prayer in that is, when I'm doing the prayers with her, it'll be, help me my unforgiveness. Because maybe I don't know how. Maybe there's stuff so far in there that I don't even know I have it. I mean, when you think about your lifetimes, think about how many things could possibly be living inside of you that you're not aware of. So she's saying, what I really am asking of this year is surrender. Just make that statement. Make it available to yourself, because at that moment, it doesn't matter if you choose to forgive. The surrender was the key that opened forgiveness to you and to the rest of the world. For everything you do for yourself, you do for everyone else. Sorry, I have to have a drink. So she really is working on that surrender. And one of the things that happened when I started going through that process with her, I became really afraid of silly things. It wasn't like they were big things. It was just like this fear came up, and I was like, I really don't know what to do with this amount of fear. And I'm afraid of this, and I'm afraid of that, and I'm afraid of this. And she has this very sweet laugh and says, oh, child. And it's like, okay, what? So she says that, and I said, well, what? And she says, let's really look at what fear is. You think fear is maybe about your money. You think fear is about your health, but it is not. Let's take fear and place it in a ball. So we took the energy of it and placed it here, and she said, do you see it? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, that's it. That's all it is. It's a ball of energy that you're taking and placing on all these different things in your life, thinking that is the issue. And she said, stare at that fear. Just look at that ball of energy and watch it for a while. And I stared at it, and I watched it, and then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't afraid anymore, because it was simply an energy. And if I wasn't going to take it and place it on something, it had nowhere to live. So I started being able to do that more often, and to just separate it out and say, oh, no, it's not part of me. It's not part of my mind. It's not part of my experience. So if I continue to look at it, and I've been continuing to do it, and it really has helped me to move through the fears that come up, especially when I was doing a lot of the forgiveness work. I had a very, very traumatic childhood, so that stuff comes up randomly. And like I said, I'm like, done all that forgiveness work. Heck yeah, all the time. No, I have, but not to the degree of the things that are in the depth of my psyche and so forth that I hadn't pulled forward and been willing to look at. And she said, if you announce to yourself that this hurts me, this thought hurts me, or I'm hurt by this, she said, the fear can no longer grab a hold of it. It has nothing to hold on to, because you've looked at it and you've announced it. You've brought it to the light.